Step by step on business. That's on my mama, watch me spin on me and split, now I can't feel it. We in the trap, we sold the city on my biddy. Take these diamonds off and show you how we lit it.
What's up? What's up? Welcome back to episode 27 of Before the Horn podcast. We missed Monday. I'm not gonna lie, we were sad about it, but we back today. We got some fire for you today. As you know, with my guy Day One. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We said that we missed the first one, but we got some major topics to talk about. We gotta talk about week 9. We gotta give our picks for those. Week 10 college football. Big week. We got 6 games to talk about there. We definitely got to cover those.
6.
College football mid-season takes plus hot seats. Who's on a hot seat? Who may get fired? Who's in trouble of losing a job? And as well, NBA in-season tournament starts Friday night. So we got to talk about that. We got to give our picks. We got 3 major games to talk about there, 3 games to watch out for. We definitely got to cover that. But without further ado, take it away, Day One.
All right, let's get it, man. Episode 27. We're going to roll right into the NFL as we are currently doing this podcast. The Tennessee Titans are playing the Pittsburgh Steelers on Thursday Night Football. All right, first games first. For the NFL Frankfurt Series games, Tyreek Hill will be facing his old squad as Tua and the Dolphins, they're traveling to Germany to face Mahomes and the Chiefs.
I'm not going to lie, bro. This was a hard one. Actually coming off of what we seen Sunday afternoon with the Broncos and Chiefs. But I'm gonna rock with the Chiefs. I live and die on that stand. I'm just not gonna go against them too much. This Dolphins team is pretty good as well, but I just like what the Chiefs have, especially defensively. I think it's very underrated, given that everybody's fascinated on Mahomes and Travis Kelce. I think that defense is better than a lot of people give it credit for. I think they're gonna show up in Germany, but I'm gonna take the Chiefs in this one to go over the Dolphins.
Now, you think about it, these are 2 explosive teams. The Chiefs haven't been as explosive. They coming off of a horrible loss against the Denver Broncos. And the Chiefs have yet to really find their identity this year. They have some wins, but only a couple of their wins have been dominant wins. Meanwhile, on the Dolphins side, their offense and defense have been showing up except against winning teams. So it's kind of like I see what the ESPN analytics is saying. They're giving the Chiefs a 50% chance to win, and they're giving the Dolphins a 48 point whatever chance to win. I'm going to agree with the analytics as well. I'm going with the Chiefs. It's going to be a close one. I'm expecting Tyreek Hill to have a big game against his former team. I'm expecting this Chiefs offense to finally do something. Mahomes and Kelce, they always got something going. Definitely going to bounce back from that Denver Broncos loss. So give me the Chiefs in this one as well. All right, on to the next one. Geno and the Seahawks, they're traveling to M&T Bank Stadium to face Lamar and Ravens. Seattle's 5-2, Baltimore is 6-2.
I'm not gonna lie, this is another one that's going to be a very good game. 2 very good games to hit it off right off the top of the slate. Especially, I'm more high on the Seahawks team than I think most people are. I think they're better than the Lions. They actually beat the Lions earlier this year. I think it's going to be a close game, but give me Baltimore in this one. Lamar Jackson 17-1 against NFC teams in his career. This one is at M&T Bank. Lamar and them guys been rolling. The Seahawks, it's a couple of things I haven't liked that I've seen, but at the end of the day, this team is 5-2. They should be 6-1. They should have beat the Bengals. They didn't, but I like what the Ravens have been doing lately. Give me the Ravens in this one.
Again, this is a tough game to pick. I'm not going to lie. Seattle's offense, Seattle's team in general, they've been winning games. Some of their wins is like, okay, but they're winning. And I said this, LOB 2.0. They're slowly becoming that. You can't lie. Tariq and Witherspoon, they doing anything over there. And Jamal Adams is back. He's playing at a good level already. But this Baltimore team just been rolling. This Baltimore defense just been unstoppable. They've been dominant. They had 2 bad losses. They found their groove. And I like Lamar and the Ravens to keep rolling. So give me Baltimore in this one, defending their home turf. All right, on to the next one. The Arizona Cardinals, they're traveling to Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns.
I'm not even gonna lie, this is one I ain't even have to think about too hard. Give me the Browns in this one. Kyler Murray's out. They traded Joshua Dobbs. They're starting rookie Clayton Tune, who's only thrown 1 pass for 4 yards this year. So give me that Cleveland Browns defense to make this young inexperienced player look inexperienced in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with the Browns on this one. It's too good to be true. Now the Cardinals are still crappy, but they just traded away Josh Dobbs, who was kind of their only hope until Kyler Murray got back. But this Browns defense is very ferocious. They've had a couple slow games lately. They've been having a couple wins off the refs' backs, but I think this was going to be clear cut. Give me the Browns in this one. All right, on to the next. Baker and the Bucks. They're traveling to HTX to face CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans.
Ooh, this one is like, I don't know. I kind of went back and forth on this one because Texas have shown some promise, and then they showed some bad. They lost to a Panthers team that had no wins at a point. And the same with the Bucks. The Bucks was rolling at a point. Then most teams the bye helps them, but I don't think the bye has helped them in this one. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna pick the Bucks. I don't want to pick the Bucks, but I'm gonna pick the Bucks in this one. I think they get it done at HRG. Baker, get it rolling. They find a groove offensively. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin get rolling again. And that defense, with Shaq Barrett and them boys, they get the peel their hats back and get out to that rusher. I think they, hold on to a good lead. But I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think Bucks come out with the win.
You're right. After the bye, the Bucks really have lost 3 straight, and it hasn't helped them at all. They lost to Detroit, they lost to Atlanta, they lost to Buffalo. The Bucks really need to bounce back. They started the season off strong, and they just hit a rock. CJ Stroud had a bad game against the Panthers last week. I think he learned his lessons, and he's gonna pick up a W again. So I'm coming like the Bucks gonna get 4 straight L's as they gonna lose this game. So give me Houston in this one.
You got Houston after coming off that loss?
I got Houston, man. I feel like they're gonna bounce back. All right, on to the next one. The Chicago Bears are traveling to the Caesars Superdome to face the New Orleans Saints.
You know who I'm rocking. I'm rocking with the Saints in this one, without question, without a doubt. I don't have to think about it twice. Saints had a very good win against the Colts last week. They got some things rolling offensively. But my only issue with the Saints, I've seen this happen last year with the same offensive coordinator. We had these games where they looked pretty good, and then you had these games where they laid duds. But going against Tyson Badgett, that's looked like he's going to be in line to start again. I see them rolling. I see them making a young quarterback look inexperienced with that defense. They have a very good defense, top 5 defense in the NFL. This is another game with a suspect defense on the other side of the ball with Chicago. That Derek Carr and that offense could get some things going, get a nice rhythm going, and build to the future. So I see New Orleans getting it done at home against the Chicago Bears team.
Give me the Saints at home. The Bears offense, I just don't trust it at all. If Justin Fields were in this game, I don't think there really would be a difference besides the run threat ability of Justin Fields. But the Saints defense has been playing on all cylinders. They've been doing really good this year. The Saints offense, they got to get it going. Hopefully they can against this Bears defense, which is okay, but it's really not that good. The Bears as a whole just isn't good. I feel like the Saints are too much for them, even though the Saints haven't been playing to their best ability. So give me the Saints to get back on track. All right, on to the next one. The Minnesota Vikings, who just traded for Josh Dobbs, as he will be their starting quarterback moving forward for the rest of the year. They'll be traveling to Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons, who have benched Desmond Ridder and starting Taylor Heineke.
This is another one I just don't love. I really do not know what to expect from either team. You're talking about one team who quarterback just went down with an ACL. I mean, not an ACL, an Achilles injury, traded for a quarterback this week, and he's looking like he's in line to start. I don't know what that's going to look like. It could be a situation. Remember Baker last year? He came in with the Rams against the Raiders on a Monday night. I think it was Monday Night Football. Had a spectacular
Thursday.
We can get a situation like that, or we can get a situation where, it looks like a quarterback has not been in the system for that long. And on the other hand, we have a guy in Taylor Heineke who just has not played this year. And I'm not one to say that it was the right answer or the wrong answer with Desmond Ridder moving off him at all, because at the end of the day, they are 4-4. They did lose to the Titans, but it was a close game. They did put up 23 points in that game.
They could have won that game.
It's not like it was a needed drastic change like the Raiders or anything like that. But I just really don't know what to expect in this game. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons just for the simple reason that Taylor Heineke has been in that system longer. So give me the Falcons in this one.
Yeah, bro, I'm right with you. I just don't really trust Josh Dobbs already in this new Vikings offense. They're still going to be without Justin Jefferson. The other receivers have stepped up, but Josh Dobbs is an upgrade over whoever was going to start from Minnesota. So I can just attest to that for the Vikings. But give me Atlanta. I've been calling for Desmond Ritter to get benched. I've been saying this. Y'all been calling me a hater. Y'all been calling me crazy. I don't care. I think Taylor Heineke would have been a better quarterback than Desmond Ritter. I mean, Desmond Ritter had to get his feet wet. He had to get his feet wet, but I just figured he was going to play this bad. And I told you guys, he's not good. So Taylor Heineke, you bring him in. The Falcons still aren't going to be that good moving forward. But still, I mean, I think he's better than Desmond Ritter. Maybe Ritter just needs a little bit more time to grow and experience, but this was kind of the right move for the Atlanta Falcons. I don't think it should have been this early, but regardless, just give me Atlanta to win this one at home, but it's going to be close in my opinion.
I like it. I like it.
All right, on to the next game. The Los Angeles Rams with that wide receiver duo of Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. They're traveling to Lambeau to face the struggling Green Bay Packers.
This is another game of two teams that just has been struggling lately. They started off pretty good, but I'm gonna go with the Packers in this one. I'm gonna go with the Packers to get it rolling. Matt Stafford, as his health is in question right now. How healthy is he going to be in this game? I get it. Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. The dynamic receiver core they have there, but I definitely got to go with the Packers in this one, just because the simple fact that if Matt Stafford is questionable in this game, I just don't know if they can generate enough offense to win this game.
It's been really sad to see how Jordan Love has done this year. I had high hopes for him to do pretty good this year, but he's looked abysmal. Like his mechanics, his footwork, it just looks bad. But the Rams haven't looked that good as well. You just mentioned Matt Stafford. Maybe he plays, maybe he doesn't play with his thumb injury. But just I'm gonna pick Green Bay in this one. I couldn't really choose between the two. Give me Green Bay at home. I'm gonna say it's gonna be within the touchdown. All right, on to the next one. Got the Washington Commanders. They're traveling to Foxborough to play Belichick and the Patriots.
Man, what's up with these games and like these mid teams? Like it's a mid team going against mid team. That's what we got this week. It looks like.
Schedule.
I'm gonna go with the Commanders in this one. With Sam Howell and them guys to get a dub in Foxborough against Bill Belichick and them guys. When you look at Mac Jones, he's been struggling this year. 9 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He hasn't been too good. I just don't think they have enough firepower. The only
bench Mac Jones.
This
bench Mac Jones.
This man is about
bench Mac Jones
for Bailey Zappi. I hope you guys hear this.
He's better.
He's vouching for Bailey Zappi right now. He thinks Bailey
Mac Jones
Zappi
is trash.
Well, I mean, at the same time, I don't know because this Washington team did just trade away two of their best edge rushers in Montez Sweat and Chase Young for whatever it was worth. I personally don't think they should have got rid of both of them. I understand getting rid of one of them because you're gonna have a situation where you got to pay both of them, but I don't think it was the best idea to get rid of both of them, given that the D line was the strength of this team. But give me the Commanders to get it done at Foxborough.
I'm gonna go with the Commanders as well. The Commanders they gave the Eagles a fight. They scored a last minute garbage time touchdown, but it's still they had the Eagles on ropes, especially at halftime. It was bad, but Philly fought back in that game. If the Commanders just put together a full game, they'll actually be a solid team. They'll probably be like fighting for second in this division in the NFC East. New England, they have a slew of injuries. Their quarterback play has been bad. I keep saying it every week. I don't think Mac Jones is good. I don't know if it's Bill O'Brien or Mac Jones, whoever's play calling. I don't know. This offense just looked bad. The defense has been a strong suit despite all the injuries. But give me the Commanders in a close one. I think they bounce back and get a W. All right, on to our first afternoon game. The Indianapolis Colts are traveling to Carolina to face the Panthers. Another mid-match.
Give me Gardner. Give me Gardner Minshew and them boys. I just think what Gardner Minshew, don't get me wrong, Gardner Minshew is not the answer at quarterback. He's a very solid backup quarterback. I think he can win games in the NFL. I think he can give you production on the offensive end with help. I just don't think Carolina has enough to stay with them. Carolina finally did get their first win last week against the Houston Texans coming off the bye. So maybe, they got the answer to something. Maybe they have figured something out to, help Bryce Young out and stuff like that. But, I'm a guy that, you got to put it together for a couple of weeks. You can't do it for 1 week and I'm just going to be sold. So for that point, I'm going with the Colts. I've seen enough from Gardner Minshew. I know what Gardner Minshew is, and I think he can give you enough to get over the hump against this Carolina Panthers team.
Give me the Colts as well. You mentioned Panthers did just get their first win of the year last week against the Houston Texans. It was a very narrow, close win, but they still got it regardless. I'm happy for Bryce Young. God bless him. But I want to see more from this Panthers team before I start saying, oh, they're going to win this game too. Like, before I start granting them or saying they're going to have consecutive wins, they got to show me more. Before that win against Houston, even though that wasn't even really a great win, it's been bad for the Panthers, and I just don't get it. I've been saying this. I've been confused on how they're continuing to not get acquisitions to protect Bryce Young. That needs to be their priority for the future, but that's a whole different subject. Give me Gardner Minshew and the Colts in this one. I feel like they're going to put up about 30 or 40 in this game. I'm not going to lie. So
Wow,
Colts.
do you think they're gonna score like that?
I'm going to say 30. I'm going to say 30 just to be safe. Up to 30 or a little bit over the 30s.
That's generous, but all right, let's see. Let's see. Hot take. Hot take for sure.
All right, on to our next afternoon game. The New York Football Giants are traveling to Vegas to face the Las Vegas Raiders. Aiden O'Connell will be your starting quarterback for the Raiders. Jimmy Garoppolo has been benched. Ed Daniels has been fired. I've been saying this. I told y'all.
Oh my God.
I told y'all. Jimmy G, Daniels, get them out of here. Devontae Adams, you're wasting his time over there. I said this. I've been saying this, but people think I'm a hater. People think I don't know what I'm talking about. People think I just be vouching for these backup quarterbacks. It's true. Jimmy G is trash. I can't stand Josh McDaniels. Never liked him.
I can say this: out of the three quarterbacks you've been vouching for, this is one I don't like either. I don't think Jimmy G is the problem. Yes, I get it. Jimmy G has not been good this year. He's been bad.
At all.
He leads the league in interceptions. I get it. He has 9 interceptions on the year. I get it. They can't figure out a way to get Devontae Adams the ball. I get it. But I don't think it's on him because when you look at this team and you look at this offense, it hasn't been a Jimmy G issue because they had the same issue the year prior with Derek Carr, with who 2,000-yard rushers, Hunter Renfrow. Since Mike McDaniels has came in there, has not looked like the Hunter Renfrow we have seen. Yes, he has some injury problems, but still, you still have a Hunter Renfrow. You still have Tay Adams. I don't think Tay Adams has been utilized. If, in my opinion, the only reason why Tay Adams had such a good year last year is because he had Derek Carr to help him out with the bad coaching that he had in Mike McDaniels. The only reason why he got this job, this his third quote unquote job, because he got the coach job, but he didn't take it. It's because of Tom Brady. He's not good. He's only good with Tom Brady. And I've been saying on that, and I'm gonna stand on that. I'm not gonna put this all on Jimmy G. But with that being said, I am going with Danny Dimes and the Giants to get the dub in Vegas. I'm not buying into the Aiden O'Connell hype either. Yes, I get it. He had a good preseason. It's preseason. You played against a lot of guys that is not on teams right now. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I'm gonna buy into this Giants team who has shown some positives. Don't get me wrong, this is still a bad football team, but they have some good pieces, especially on that defensive line with Kayvon Thibodeau, who's been having a good season, Dexter Lawrence, who's been having a good season. Tyrod Taylor is not gonna be playing, but he showed some things. But I just like them as a whole, as a team, morality-wise, more than this Vegas team at this point.
I'm not advocating or vouching for Aiden O'Connell. I just never was a fan of Jimmy G. And I know Josh McDaniels is trash. I know he's not good unless he has Tom Brady. I know all this. That's why I don't like him. Because I don't like him being like rewarded or praised for other players' success. I don't like that. And I never thought he was good anyway. With that being said, I'm going to go with the Giants in this one too. And y'all know I don't like the Giants. I can't stand the Giants. Not because I'm an Eagles fan, because of Giants fans that have been coming at my neck crazy the past like handful of years. I don't like y'all. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't.
On me. And y'all
Also,
Giants fans know who y'all are.
exactly.
You love to talk crazy, but you don't have no room to talk. Your team is 2-6. Stop talking. Stop texting me. Stop adding me at the group chat because your team is trash. Stop talking to me.
Also, another player I just don't like, and I still don't see how he was drafted within the top 10 in the draft that year. Daniel Jones, he will be back for this game. So hopefully the Giants offense can get going, but whatever. Giants will get the win. I don't really care. On to the next one. We got an NFC East matchup as Dallas Cowboys traveling to Philly to face the Philadelphia Eagles.
I'm not gonna lie. This is a hard one for me. This is very hard for me. I'm not gonna lie to pick who's gonna win this game. I've been going back and forth with this game since week 8 ended. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna go with the Eagles in this one to get it done at home against the Dallas Cowboys, who have been playing pretty good. Besides their 2 losses, they haven't looked bad. They look bad in their 2 losses, but no, in their 5 wins that they do have, they look very good. But this Eagles team has looked very good as well. This is a divisional matchup. We know how these games go. They're very close and competitive, but I think Eagles get the job done at home in this one.
This game scares me. I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what? Eagles Dallas always a brewing matchup. The build up is crazy. The animosity between these two teams are crazy. Give me the Eagles at home, but it's gonna be very scrappy and close. This game can really go either way. And I respect the Cowboys. I don't like them, but I respect them because I know what they can do. The Cowboys might win this game. I'm not gonna lie to you. If the Eagles keep turning the freaking ball over and starting off slow like they've been doing, the Cowboys gonna win this game. But hopefully the Eagles can fix that. Give me Philly in this one. I think it's gonna be by a game-winning field goal by Jake Elliott.
I'm not gonna lie, like with this game, it's like I can see either team winning. And you know me, I've been high on the Cowboys. I bet the Cowboys to go to the Super Bowl as well. But you know, at the end of the day, stop it.
I
Stop it.
love that. I love when you say that. It makes me laugh.
Stop it. Stop it. I stand on
Continue
business.
though.
At the end of the day, I stand on business. But
Yep,
I picked
you
this
do.
team to go to Super Bowl, but you know, it's never an easy road to get there, especially in these divisional games. We talk about two of the best teams in the NFC. When you look at them roster for roster, I think they match up really well. I think this series gets split at the end of the day. I think these teams go 1-1. But I think, Eagles gonna get one. I think Cowboys gonna get one. I think that's how it's gonna go at the end of the day. I got the Eagles getting this one.
All right, on to Sunday Night Football. We got a rematch of last year's AFC divisional game. We got the Buffalo Bills. They're traveling to Cincinnati to face Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Man, bro, this is another one that's just like, and this one we got a lot of iffy games that can go either way, but this is one of the iffy games that can go any way that you want to watch. This and Cowboys and Eagles game take the cake for me this week. But looking at the teams, I'm gonna go to Bengals. I'm gonna go to Bengals in this one. I think that bye help. I think that bye helped Joe Burrow, get a little bit healthier, get back in groove, back into rhythm. This team did just go into San Francisco and beat San Francisco by 2 touchdowns. Not going to dig into Brock Purdy. I wish I could have, but I'm not going to do that. They on a bye this week, so I'm not going to do it. But I will say the Cincinnati Bengals took care of a business against a mediocre quarterback. And, I think if they could keep it rolling and build off that momentum, because at the end of the day, they went against one of the best defenses in the NFL. Some people got them as the best defense in the NFL. And this team went out and put 31 points up against them. And I think Buffalo has a very good defense. But I think, once these quarterbacks get rolling and they get into a groove, you can't stop them. Especially with Joe Burrow. He can pick you apart with that receiving core he got, Joe Mixon, the whole 9 yards. Give me the Bengals to get it done at home.
I'm gonna rock with Cincinnati as well. And this is my fear, honestly. The Bengals started off horrible, but they've been starting off bad like the last 2-3 years, and then they find a way to make it to the AFC Championship and Super Bowl, and then also last year the AFC Championship, which they probably could have won the Super Bowl last year. It wasn't for a flag. The refs helping the Chiefs again, but whatever. If Joe Burrow and the Bengals could continue to stay in their groove, they're gonna beat the Buffalo Bills. Now, again, I respect the Bills, especially that Bills defense, despite the injuries they have. I think Josh Allen is okay. I think he's whatever. He gets it done whenever he can, but he has some iffy head
Okay is mad.
crashing moments.
Okay is
I'm
mad.
sorry.
Okay is mad crazy.
He's top. Josh Allen is top 5, but he makes some plays where it's like, how is this guy in the top 5? But give me the Cincinnati Bengals at home on Sunday Night Football. I think they get it done. It's gonna be a great game though. Last game for the week, Monday Night Football. We got Justin Herbert and the Chargers. They're traveling to North Jersey to face the New York Jets.
This one's hard, man. Because you got one team on one hand who's been underachieving in the Los Angeles Chargers, who has all the firepower in the world, but they just can't seem to figure it out. and you got one team in the New York Jets who right now, if the playoffs was to start, they would be in. They just figure out a way to get it done. Man, I went back and forth on this one as well. This is another. I'm not gonna lie. This week has gave us some tough matchups, whether they were good or bad. They're tough matchups.
Sure.
But I'm gonna pick the Chargers in this one and get to 4-4 and give them a shot to make the playoffs and keep them alive within that playoff race. When you look at Justin Herbert, he has all the talent in the world. The receiving core he has with Keenan Allen, they did lose Mike Williams for the year, but you do have a first round pick in Quentin Johnston. Like Josh Palmer, you got a Joshua Kelly and Austin Eckler in the backfield. And when you look at the defensive side of the ball, they do have arguably one of the best safety in the NFL with Derwin James. And then Khalil Mack has been amazing. He has 7 sacks on the year so far. Just give me the Chargers to figure it out. I think it's going to be more of the offense not being able to keep up on New York side than that defense giving up too many points on the Chargers side.
Give me the Chargers as well. I feel like Jets defense is going to bring it. You know, Robert Saleh, no matter who's on that defensive side of the football, he's going to have them guys ready to play every week. They've shown it a lot of weeks in a row, especially last week with that overtime crazy win against the Giants. That was nuts. The Giants are just that bad of a team, though, but whatever. We done talking about the Giants. I'm sorry, Giants fans. But for this game, I feel like Herbert and the Chargers coming off that strong win against the Chicago Bears, they're going to continue to keep the momentum rolling, and they're going to beat the Jets at home. So give me Los Angeles. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for week 9 of the NFL. We are basically at the halfway point of the season. Make sure y'all tune in on Tuesday for our halfway through the season thoughts. Let us know in the comment section what y'all think about week 9 of NFL. Are there any upsets, surprising losses you guys are planning on seeing? Let us know what you guys is going to happen. Leave your predictions down below. All right, moving on to college football. We are already in week 10. This season has been flying by so fast. We're already in November. God is good, but let's get into it off the bat. Very packed week in college football. First game we're going to get into, Big 12 matchup as number 23 ranked Kansas State Wildcats are traveling to Austin to face number 7th ranked Texas Longhorns, who are still without Quinn Ewers for this game. This game, you know, you got Kansas State who won the Big 12 championship last year. They're looking okay this year. They're 6-2. You got number 7th ranked Texas. They still have a chance to make the college football playoff, despite their loss against Oklahoma earlier this year in a Red River rivalry game. Give me Texas at home, even without Quinn Ewers. I think this is going to be a great game, though. But I'm not going to say sleep on Kansas State. Kansas State is one of those crappy teams that will come out of nowhere and just hit you in the face. Will Howard has been playing pretty good this year. You got DJ Giddens in the backfield. He's been running the ball really solidly. But on Texas end, you know, Jonathan Brooks, Xavier Worthy, A.D. Mitchell, that Texas defense, they've been playing pretty good. I'm just going to be safe. I'm going to say Texas at home.
I'm right there with you. When you look at this Kansas State team, this is a very good Kansas State team. This is the same Kansas State team, minus a few star players that went in and won the Big 12 championship. We got to remember that as well. They are the ones that won the Big 12 championship, even though TCU did get into the playoff. But I'm gonna take Texas in this one to keep it rolling without Quinn Ewers. I just think with the weapons they got offensively with the Jonathan Brooks and Xavier Worthy, CJ Baxter, I think is very underrated. Who may his stats may not look as good, but he's definitely giving you some good production. Jordan Whittingham is another one. Donnie Mitchell is another one, and I think as a quarterback, Malik Murphy, I don't think he's a superstar, like a star in college or anything like that, but he can get the job done.
He get the job done,
especially with the weapons. He has enough weapons to get the job done. If it was a situation as in Bama, I don't think he would be as successful without the weapons. But with the plethora of talent that he got around him, I think he could get the job done against a Kansas State team who was scrappy. And I think it'd be a very close game. This is one that's going to go down the wire, but I think the playmakers is going to be the biggest difference at the end of the day.
All right, on to the next one. We got another pivotal matchup as number 15th ranked Notre Dame. They're traveling to South Carolina to face the Clemson Tigers, who have been struggling this year. Clemson is a team that's been very head scratching for me. I picked this team to finish within the top 10. They're not even ranked right now. This is probably the worst Clemson team we've seen in a long time under the Dabo Sweeney. And I don't really know who to point the finger at. And I just see Clemson, they're going to go 4-5 this game. They're going to lose to Notre Dame at home. Give me Notre Dame and Sam Hartman to get this W. Audric Estime, Notre Dame receivers, that Notre Dame defense is playing really good this year. I honestly think that Clemson's offense, I don't know what's been going on with it. They just look so discombobulated. They look off. I really don't know what to make out of this team. And again, I don't know if it's Dabo Sweeney's fault. I don't know if it's the play caller's fault. I don't know if it's the NIL deals that's making this team not want to play hard, but this is just bad by Clemson. And honestly, I don't see Clemson really winning this game. Games between Clemson and Notre Dame are always kind of scrappy, but you go with Notre Dame, they have the edge in this one.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm rocking with Notre Dame as well. I've been high on this Notre Dame team pretty much all year. The only game I've been very disappointed in them in is the Louisville game. I think they should have won that game. The Ohio State game, I thought was going to be a close game, very defensive battle, which it was. If it wasn't for some very minor coaching issues, 10 men on the field, we can be looking at an undefeated team, or something like that. And this could be a team preparing for the playoffs. But this is a very good team. I think they'll be a New Year's Six bowl team at the end of the year. When you look at Sam Hartman, who's been playing very good, over 2,100 yards, 18 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I love Audric Estime. He's probably going to be at 1,000 yards rushing by the end of this game. And then, when you look at, the weapons they got on the outside, Sam Hartman has been doing a very good job of spreading the ball around. I don't think they have a star guy out there, but, they have a bunch of good guys that can, make plays when they need to. And when you talk about defensively, this is one of the best defenses of college football when you look at it. I think they get the job done against a Clemson team that's been wavering, that, is struggling and definitely in need of an off season to get some things together. I just think this is one of them years that they look back on and say, well, can we do better, and chalk this one up as an L and move forward.
Facts. All right, on to the next one. You get a Big 12 matchup as the Oklahoma Sooners, who are ranked number 9. They will be going to face number 22 ranked Oklahoma State Cowboys. Oklahoma just lost to Kansas last week. Kansas Jayhawks beat the Oklahoma Sooners last Saturday. It was a very rainy game. It looked like an off game from Oklahoma as Kansas was up on them. But Oklahoma fought back, but Kansas just fought more, and they wanted it more, and they got the win at the end of the day. For that being said, even though Oklahoma State's rushing game is really, really good with Ali Ward II, give me Oklahoma in this game. I feel like Dylan Gabriel, they have a bounce back week. Those Oklahoma receivers, they play pretty well. You got Tylee Walker in the backfield. He's been running the ball really efficiently. This is going to be a scrappy game, though, but I see Oklahoma have an upper hand. So give me Oklahoma by double digits.
I'm not going to lie. This one was tough for me. It was very tough for me. But I'm not going to lie. Give me Oklahoma State at home.
Oh, upset. Upset.
When you look at this Oklahoma team, like, besides the Texas win, recently they haven't been playing good football. They lost to Kansas. They beat UCF by 2 points. We're talking about a UCF team that hasn't had a Big 12, who's new to the Big 12, who hasn't had a Big 12 win yet. Took them down to a wire. I just don't like what I've been seeing since that bye week, what they put on film, and I just don't. I think against a rival team, against a team that knows them very well, who is going to be ready for this game, there's going to be another team that could upset them. When we look at what Kansas just did to them a week ago, the score may be closer than what it appears, but that was not a good look for that OU team, and I'm not happy with what I've seen. So for that reason alone, I'm going with Oklahoma State. And like you mentioned, Ollie Gordon, who's been amazing this year with over 1,000 yards receiving. Alan Bowman as quarterback has been solid. He hasn't done too much. He's 8 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, so it could be better. But as long as they protect the football, I think they get out of this game with a win at home.
Hey, that's a good upset pick. I actually like that. We gonna see though. All right, on to the next one. That an SEC matchup. This is a big one for Georgia, as they are welcoming the number 12th ranked Missouri Tigers to Athens. Georgia has been kind of iffy this year. 2021, they were pretty dominant. 2022, they were very dominant. this year they haven't looked as dominant, and we've been very concerned for the Georgia team in a lot of games this year. Like one of these days, Georgia's gonna lose. Do I think it's this game? It can be. It very much well can be, because this Missouri Tiger team with Luther Burden and Brady Cook at the quarterback position, and they got Strader in the backfield. And mind you, Missouri have other receivers as well, but nah, it's not gonna happen. Give me the Georgia Bulldogs defending home turf in Athens. They don't get this win against the Missouri Tigers.
This is Georgia's first game of 3 straight ranked opponents that they're going to be facing. They finally facing a ranked opponent this late in the season. We're into November. They haven't seen
Exactly.
an opponent yet, so that just goes to show you how strong their schedule has been to this point. But like for some of the reasons you mentioned, they do have Luther Burden, who's been one of the best receivers in the nation. Brady Cook, who's been very solid at getting them the ball. I like Cody Schrader running the football and everything, but I'm gonna go with Georgia in this one, just for the simple fact we've seen this Mizzou team defensively give up points to good teams. They gave up 49 points to an LSU team not too long ago. They gave up 21 points to Kentucky, 27 points to Memphis, and 27 points to Kansas State. So this is a defense that can get had. I think with the experience that they have on an offensive on the Georgia side of the football, I think it just overwhelms them in this game. And I think Georgia comes out of this game with a close one, and especially because it's in Athens, I think gives them a boost at the end of the day.
That's why I picked the Georgia Bulldogs in this one. I just don't see it. I see them defending their home turf. They're gonna get the win. Honestly, I just don't see them losing this one. Georgia does have a slew of ranked games in this conference, so get ready for that if you're a Georgia fan. All right, on to the next one. We got a Pac-12 matchup. This should have been a bigger matchup. Both these teams should have been ranked in the top 10 at this point, but one is outside the top 10 as one has been struggling horribly lately. Number 5, Washington are traveling to LA to face number 20th ranked USC. You got Michael Penix Jr., who's currently leading the Heisman race with his talented receivers, his talented offense, his Washington defense that's okay. And then on the other hand, you got the Heisman winner from last year, Caleb Williams, this talented offense, but they've been performing bad on the defensive side of the ball. This is going to be a tough game. This is going to be a great game as well. But I like Washington going into USC and winning at the Coliseum. Not going to lie. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a shootout offensively. But that USC defense is just too sus. That's why I think it's going to be a shootout. That defense can't cover a pot. They can't stop a nosebleed. I think this game is going to reach the high 30s. It might get into overtime if it gets like that. But just give me Michael Penix Jr. and the Washington Huskies to go into Southern Cal and defeat the USC Trojans. If USC loses this game, they're dropping out the top 25.
I mean, that's not a hot take to say they drop out of the top 25. They are ranked 20th right now. I mean, when we look at this team, early in the season, I thought this would be a better game than what it has been lately, especially when you look at this SC team who's been struggling of late. We're talking about a team that, if you look at their past 3 weeks, they got blown out by Notre Dame by 48 to 20. Then they lost a close one to a struggling Utah offense. They gave up 34 points to, a quarterback who hasn't been playing that good most of the season. And we've seen what Oregon just did to that same Utah team. And then you go out and you give up 49 points to a struggling Cal team, man. I don't see a way that I can, confidently with my heart pick this SC team. I got to go with Washington, Michael Penix, and that offense. They have been rolling. And when we look at the SC defense, the SC defense has been a defense that's have been had all year. And we see a Washington team who has been putting up points all year. The only game they struggled to put up points was against a scrappy Arizona State team. And Arizona State team has been giving a lot of teams problems. But besides that, they put up at least 30 plus points in every single game. So, and when you look at this SC defense, who's very suspect, I see them putting up 40 plus points and getting a dub at the Coliseum.
All right, in our opinion, the biggest game of the week, SEC matchup. It's going to be a great one. Number 14th ranked LSU, them Tigers, they're traveling to Tuscaloosa to face the Alabama Crimson Tide. This is going to be a great one. I feel like this is going to compare to a shootout that we had in the 2019 season when it was Tua versus Joe Burrow. It can't get like that if Alabama's offense can click and do something. On the other hand, for LSU, their offense hasn't been clicking. They just had some questionable losses. That's why they're ranked at the point where they are right now. I mean, I had LSU finishing within the top 10, but their season hasn't panned out to what I thought it was going to be. Still a really good offensive team. They've had some questionable losses, like I said. And on the other hand, Alabama, Jalen Milroe, Burton, and McClellan, they've been playing really good this year. Other guys have been stepping up for Alabama as well. But some of Alabama's play, it's very head scratchy. And I know I'm not the only one that's saying this. With that being said, give me Alabama Crimson Tide at home. I'm not picking against Alabama at home again. I did it earlier this year when I picked Ole Miss for some reason to beat Alabama after Alabama lost to Texas, but I'm not doing that again. Give me Bama at home. It's going to be a close one, but I'm not betting against Nick Saban at home against an SEC opponent.
I feel like a proud father, man. I feel like a proud.
Whoa, relax.
You
relax.
You teach people lessons, and they learn.
Bro,
they learn from their mistakes. Whether it took them to get it wrong a few times or whatever the case may be, they learn and they grow.
He's trying to play me. I heard he's trying to play me.
And
I'm not taking that lightly. I'm not taking that lightly.
You learn, bro. And I'm right there with you. I've been on the bandwagon the whole year. I picked Texas to go into Tuscaloosa and upset Bama. I did. But I also was the same person who said, I don't see them losing at home again. Tuscaloosa is a very hard place to win. And as you notice with this Bama team and a very well-coached Nick Saban team, they find ways to get it done at the end of the day. Yep. They find a way to get it done. I don't know how they do it. They just do it like Nike, right? For all, the question marks they have on offense and everything like that. When you look at this team, that defense has held teams as the like of Tennessee to 20 points, Ole Miss to 10 points. Besides the Texas game, they've looked pretty decent. They found ways to win games, and that's what well-coached teams do. And I think they do the same in this matchup. They just find a way to get it out and pull a dub. So give me Alabama to get it done in the game of the week this week and keep it rolling.
Well, let's see, man. Like Khalil said, it's a big week of college football. Let us know y'all predictions down below for week 10. Again, the season's almost over, so we need y'all feedback. Give us y'all predictions for the games that we picked out in the comment section below. Let us know any surprises, upsets, or blowouts you guys forecast that are going to happen. We want to hear y'all predictions. We want to hear what you guys got to say about these games. If there's any games or any team that you like that we did not mention, leave that also in the comment section below. We can give you guys our predictions for those games. Sticking with college football, who do you think is on a hot seat, coaching-wise or player-wise, or what team has disappointed you the most?
I think I'm going to go to a place that this is a coach I don't think is on a hot seat. He's been very successful, especially as of recently. When you look at his team and the success that his team has been having. But at the same time, given what's been going on in college football, I think Jim Harbaugh might be going back to the NFL and leaving Michigan, especially the NCAA hard. And we've seen this before. We've seen this with very successful college coaches. We've seen this happen with Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll was a guy, his school started getting in trouble. What did he do? Go right back to the NFL. And I can see it happening again. Because the thing is, with great coaches, they don't like to be down. They like to compete. They like to be, compete for national championships and stuff like that. And if they're not, they're out of there, especially if it's not on them to say. So I think that would be a hot take that I can see coming down the line, especially if the NCAA come down hard on Michigan. But when you look at a couple other teams, you look at a Clemson who's been very underwhelming, who hasn't, and Dabo Sweeney who hasn't embraced the NIL and everything that they have to offer. And, I took an advantage of it like some other teams in the transfer portal and stuff like that. And I'm gonna be honest, if he don't take advantage of it this offseason, I don't think his job is in jeopardy this offseason. But if he don't take advantage of what is going on in college football, that seat gets hotter and hotter. I think it's hot. I think it's very warm. I think it's heating up, but I don't think it's there yet. But if he don't make some adjustments, that thing will be on fire, and he will be a guy to look out for as well. And some takeaways I got from this college football season is it's been very good. It's been very competitive.
Been phenomenal.
If it's been any year, I wish we had the 12-team playoffs. It was this year. There's so many
That would have been great to see this year.
There's so many teams I can put in. There's so many teams that any given Saturday can beat any team. When you look at the teams that's out of it, the Bamas, you can't rule them out. Oregon, you can't rule them out. Washington, who's 8-0, who's been looking phenomenal, wouldn't even be in the playoffs right now if the playoffs was to start tomorrow. So when you look at it like that, it's like, man, like I think if any year this would be the best year in recent history to do a 12-team playoff that we can get. But I think the competition level and the balance of college football is finally coming to play. And I kind of don't like, I get it. It's the way we move in. A lot of teams are moving conferences. We kind of getting rid of the Pac-12 as of right now. But man, would I love to see that like see them teams back in the Pac-12 next year with the Utahs and the Washingtons and the Oregon States and the Oregons. Like there's so much competition around college football. I think it may be too much parity. I love a little parity, but we might see too many top teams eat each other out of the top spots, if you know what I mean. We're gonna get those top ranked matchups in the regular season and not in the playoffs where we really want to see it. I think that would be my other takeaway from this season.
All right, I'm gonna start off first with Coach. I think I wouldn't say he's on a hot seat too much, but you already kind of mentioned him, and I'm gonna say Dabo Sweeney. He's been a head coach that's been in the college football playoff multiple times. He has national championships under his belt. He has winning cultures under his belt. He's had multiple players drafted in the NFL. He's had All Americans. But the only thing is with Dabo, like you said as well, Khalil, he has not utilized the transfer portal to his advantage. He does not like these NIL deals. His team is just bad right now. Clemson is 4-4. They're not even ranked. I was expecting Clemson to at least give a fight in the ACC. When we did our ACC rankings, I gave Clemson an edge over Florida State. Looking back at it 2 months later, I look like a jackass. But it's okay. Those are just predictions. It's okay to be wrong. But Clemson has been very underwhelming this year. Cade Klubnik, Will Shipley, those guys, they're playing solid, but just whole team in general, they just look off. And I said that earlier when we did the Clemson and Notre Dame predictions. Dabo Sweeney, again, I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat, but I'm right there with you, Khalil. If he doesn't utilize the transfer portal to his advantage and to be accepting of the NIL and how the college football culture is going forward, come the end of 2024, if the Clemson Tigers are in the same position as they are right now, that pop is going to be boiling water under Dabo's behind. And in my take on the college football season so far, this has been a phenomenal season. I can agree with that as well. It's been a great year. A lot of these ranked matchups, a lot of these teams, they're facing each other. They're very competitive. I would love to see it in the playoffs, like you said, but we might just have to just enjoy right now in the regular season and just wait till we see the New Year's Six Bowls game and wait till we see the college football playoff games. That's what it's going to have to come down to. It's been a phenomenal competition and phenomenal play by a lot of these teams. We've seen some very odd rankings in the top 25. The Air Force is ranked right now. Tulane is back in there in the top 25. We've seen teams go up and down out of top 25, but we've seen a lot of these teams that we know of that are good remain in that top 4. But honestly, this year has been great. We got much more to go. It's almost over, but we haven't even hit the mountaintop, in my opinion.
I got a question. So we're 4 weeks left, about like 4 weeks left in the season. Is there any team that you think can sneak in the playoffs that's not, in the discussion right now that can get a backdoor shot?
All right, so right now we got Ohio State, Georgia, Michigan, and Florida State. If there's two teams I can say that probably can sneak in off of losses, I'm gonna say Washington and Oregon. But in order for that to happen, Michigan got to lose or Georgia got to lose. I don't see Ohio State losing for the rest of the year. I don't think Georgia's gonna lose. Probably. I don't know. I'm up and down on Georgia at this point of year. As like we both mentioned, they have a couple ranked games, bro, against SEC opponents. But Michigan hasn't faced nobody all year. They're going to see some comp later in line if you look at their schedule. But I would say Washington or Oregon. They can sneak in there. But out of those four teams, Georgia or Michigan got to lose. I don't think Ohio State losing. And Florida State's schedule is cake for the rest of the season. So
When you look at it, there's a team that's in that top four that's not going to be in it. Why? Law of attrition. I mean, you have Ohio State, Michigan that still has to play each other. Whoever wins that game is going to the Big Ten championship. Whoever loses that game will not be in the Big Ten championship, and it's kind of hard to put them in. The only way for that team to get in is that a lot of losses have to happen. I mean, I think this is the year where a Pac-12 team gets in. Um, I'm leaning Oregon and Washington. I think whoever wins that rematch, especially when you look at a Washington team who's already beat Oregon, if they go through run through the table, I think it's kind of no brainer to put them in there. Or if you look at an Oregon team who only losses to Washington at Washington by 3 points, that game that they should have won, like they have an argument to get in as well. And another team I feel like maybe slightly overrated who schedule favors them a lot more is Florida State. I'm not gonna lie. I think
schedule's cake.
this the schedule is very easy. When we look at the teams that they play, yes, they had a very solid one over LSU at a neutral site game in Orlando. But when you look at the rest of the teams, the only other team that they played that was ranked at the time of them playing was the Duke team, and Duke has not looked that good besides the one game against North Carolina, first game of the season. So I think they get in just because of the undefeated streak. They do probably have to see Louisville in the ACC championship, and Louisville might have something to say. But I think that's my team that's like a non-believer that could have a good record and still not make it. And like I said, I think there's going to be a spot open just because Ohio State and Michigan has to play, and a Pac-12 team sneaks in there. As far as the Big 12, I don't know. Especially my favorite was Texas to make it, but I don't know how far they get without Quinn Ewers. Especially they did lose to Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma kind of shot themselves in the foot with that loss to Kansas. So it's going to be a struggle there as well. I think we're in for a very good 4 weeks. I think what we seen this past Tuesday when the rankings dropped is not what we're going to see when the final rankings come out. And I can't wait to see what it looks like when that time comes.
Facts, man. And y'all better be tuned in. Like we both said, this has been a really good college football season. I wish Dennis was here, give his feedback, but he'll be on a later episode to give his feedback and comments about that. But let us know what y'all think about the top four college football. Let us know who y'all think gets in. Let us know who y'all think gets bumped out. All right, last topic of the night. NBA in-season tournament. It starts this Friday, November 3rd. We got 6 groups, 5 teams in each groups. Groups A through C for the East and the West. We got some very big matchups occurring this Friday night. Let's talk about it.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how much you guys have been watching basketball, but I think it's been a very good opening week and a half ish.
Oh, it definitely has been.
It's a lot of question marks, a lot of who's who, who's legit, who's not. We have two undefeated teams at this point in the season still standing. My NBA Finals pick in the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, who was a team who fell off late last year, who seemed like they gotten some chemistry and they might be a team that you have to look out for. But
Facts.
I think this in season tournament it just adds a little bit more interest to to the beginning of the season, some very good matchups as we talk about um, throughout the next couple of weeks. We will be talking about some key matchups this tomorrow, Friday. I think we have three key matchups when you look at the Warriors, the Thunder, Knicks versus Bucks, and the Mavs versus Nuggets. I think we should just start off with Warriors versus Thunder. We have a Thunder team who's young, who's very fun to watch. If you watch them play with Chet Holmgren, he's been nice. Coming off of the foot injury, he missed his whole rookie year, so this year is his rookie year. SGA, who's a baller, who just knows how to play basketball, and then you have a Warriors team that I have my questions about on who's going to do it besides Steph. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna go with the Warriors tomorrow Friday night to get it done against the OKC Thunder. What we've seen from this Warriors team so far, and I get it, two of them games have been against the team that they knocked out in the playoffs last year, the Sacramento Kings, is that they veteran experience just figure out a way to win these games. And I think the experience that they got just over a young Thunder team shows out in this game and be a very good game. But I got the Warriors pulling it out tomorrow afternoon against the OKC Thunder.
This is going to be a very great matchup. As you mentioned, you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, you got Chet Holmgren. You got this Warriors team with a lot of experience, shooters all over the place. They're seasoned vets. They had a dynasty. This is going to be a very great matchup. This whole in-season tournament, I'm not really the biggest fan of it. I've expressed my frustration with it in the past, but it's whatever. I can't change it. I love this sport. I'm a spectator, so I got no choice but to deal with it. I mean, we're only 5 games into this year, and we're already having a season tournament. It's called mid-season in-season tournament. That's kind of stupid, but whatever. Whatever brings y'all money. But back to the Warriors and Thunder, this is going to be a phenomenal game. I think this is going to be a shootout. But just because the Warriors have a lot of experience with winning and they know what to do when it matters, give me Golden State in this one. I think it's going to be a shootout, but I'm going to go with the Warriors. All right, let's get into the next game. We're going to stick with the West. As the undefeated Dallas Mavericks, they're facing the NBA champion Denver Nuggets.
Ooh, this is a good one. We're talking about a Denver Nuggets team who just came off a finals win, who has been rolling as of recently. They're 4-1. Their last loss came against the Minnesota Timberwolves, who, they played in the playoffs last year, who they won 4-1 in the series. Anthony Edwards had an amazing game to get them the win in that one. And then we have a Dallas Mavericks team who's just been rolling. Like, I can't wait to see this matchup. I'm not gonna lie. This is one. Give me the Mavs in this game. Give me Luka Magic. Give me Kyrie Irving. I've been a big fan of Derek Lively. I get it. I'm a Duke fan. I'm the first one to throw it out there. Yes, I am a Duke fan. But Derek Lively at a point was the number one player in the nation. I don't think people people realize that he was the number one player in the nation. He was the number 12 overall pick. He is 7'1". He has long arms. He can protect the paint. He gives Dallas something that they've been missing for a while, and that's a legit big man. And I said this, we wasn't live, we wasn't, posting podcasts or anything like this, but we had the discussion before after the draft. I said Derek Lively was going to be a big pickup for that Mavs team just because of the size that he can give that they haven't had in a long time that I felt like they've been needing. Luka is averaging 34 points per game this year, almost a triple double, 10 and 9.8 assists, so pretty much a triple double. I think they pull it off, especially early in the season. When young guys are at their best, and when them legs is fresh, and where you can get away with being young at this point. When the vets kind of pretty much show up is midway through the season. When long season, this season is more than double what a college season is. I think that's when vets really show. But given that it's early in the season, give me the Mavs in this one.
I really, really like how Dallas has been playing. I really like how the Nuggets have been playing. They come off of a loss against the Timberwolves, like you said, and he definitely propelled the Wolves to that win. He's going to be on a tear this year, by the way. Look out for Anthony Edwards. Both of these are really good. You got the defending NBA champions. You got a team that was underwhelming last year that missed the playoffs, but they're starting off strong this year. With that being said, I'm gonna go with the Nuggets in this one. I feel like Dallas, they've been on the roll, but I feel like Denver definitely can have their number in this matchup. It's just I feel like who can mess with Jokic. You bring up Derek Lively. I appreciate that. They have other big men that can play on that Mavs team as well. But when it comes to winning and it comes to getting the job done, I just trust the Nuggets just a tad bit more. Even though on the other side of the court, you got Luka and your Kyrie. I respect them too. They're very great players. Two of them are Luka's definitely top 3 in his position. Kyrie probably on the cusp of top 10, but I'm gonna go with Denver on this one. I'm gonna go with Denver, not even just to be safe. I don't think this is gonna be like I don't think this is a no-brainer pick. This is gonna be a great game, but I'm gonna give the Nuggets the edge this one. All right, last game we're gonna cover for the first round in-season tournament that we feel is a big game. Eastern Conference matchup: New York Knicks, Milwaukee Bucks.
We're talking about a team in the Milwaukee Bucks who is 2-2, and then a team in the New York Knicks who is 2-3. I'm gonna go with the Bucks in this one. And I personally feel like it's because of the star power that they have on the offensive end with Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I don't think this team I think they would be better. I think over time they would get better. You got to remember they made this trade late in the season. So this team is still trying to figure out how to play together, how to mesh well, who turn is it, the whole 9 yards. We've seen some good, we've seen some bad. This is just a team that's trying to figure it out. But when we look at this next team, I know who they are. I know who they are. It's not like they had two major changes from one season to another. You had the leading scorer right now is RJ Barrett scoring 21 points. Hopefully he could keep it up. I've been high on RJ Barrett. That's another one I've liked since high school when he was at Montverde. He just hasn't been what I expected in the league. But we also know this is a team that lacks superstar power. They have a very good player in Jalen Brunson that I like. That is very good, but he's very undersized at the same time. Julius Randle, very inconsistent. Julius Randle is one of those guys that you like but you don't love, because as soon as you want to love him, he does something that
He
makes
does bad.
he just does something that makes you not want to put your arms around him. They have a very good player, Mitchell Robinson, who's been good on the boards. He's averaging over 11 rebounds per game, over 1.6 blocks per game, and potentially the 6th man of the year, Emmanuel Quickly, who's averaging 16 points off the bench right now. But I gotta go with the Bucks team. I just don't think they have an answer for Giannis. I don't think they have an answer for Damian Lillard and everything they're gonna do. I think Chris Middleton is just still trying to find his way as that third guy, because he's so used to being that number 2 guy, that he's trying to just work his way into being that third guy. I don't think he's there yet. He's only averaging 7 points right now. I think that comes up. He's still working his way in the flow of things as well. Only averaging about 16 minutes a game right now. He's still just trying to get his legs under him. But I think over time, the more Giannis and Dame play with each other, I think they're going to be better for each other. When you look at the numbers and what they be putting up, I think Dame's going to start averaging more assists. They're going to find ways to get Giannis the ball more. I think Giannis going to find ways to help Dame score easily. And I think they get it rolling against this New York Knicks team who just lacks superstar power at the end of the day.
Honestly, you stole my thunder. I really don't got nothing too much to say. I really was going to bring up Jalen Brunson. He's a great player, but he hasn't carried the Knicks team. Your leading scorer right now is RJ Barrett, when I don't even think he should be the leading scorer, but he is. I mean, again, we're only 5 games into the year. It's whatever right now. I was going to bring up the inconsistencies of Julius Randle because I disagree with him. The player's like, oh crap, he's getting it in. Then it's like, I don't like this guy. Get him off the court. And you also bring up how this Bucks team is new. They still got to mesh and gel together. And I 100% agree with that. This is a trade that happened late in the year. I think the Bucks gonna win this one. Dame and Giannis and Chris Middleton and Brook Lopez, they're great players. They're all good players in their respective roles. Giannis, he's not really going too crazy. He's not like Euro stepping. He's actually passing the ball. He's doing a lot. He's not just going straight to the rack. Chris Middleton has never been a number 3 on this team. So it's taking a little bit of adjusting, but the Bucks gonna get this done. They're gonna beat the Knicks in this in-season tournament matchup. So I'm gonna take the Bucks in this one. All in all, ladies and gentlemen, this is gonna be a great in-season tournament. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Khalil definitely was the biggest fan of it, but make sure y'all tune in. The in-season tournament starts Friday, November 3rd on any channel you can watch it on or whatever, however you want to watch it. Tune into these games. It's going to be an exciting tournament. But ladies and gentlemen, that is it for episode 27 of Before the Horn podcast. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for tuning in for whatever platform you're watching or listening on. We appreciate all the commentary and feedback that we've been getting. Thank y'all. We're going to continue to grow from it and learn from it and keep putting content and stuff out there for you guys. But again, up to this point, we love the support we've been getting. Make sure y'all keep running these numbers up.
Yes, sir. I mean, keep showing love, keep supporting. I'm still mad that we missed, episode on Monday. One thing we do try to do is be consistent with giving you guys, episodes to watch and to listen to us and stuff like that. We will be working on more content. This past week has just been a crazy week for some of us. We just have been a lot going on. We gotta, we still live lives too. But in the meantime, we do have more stuff coming out to y'all. We definitely want to get your opinion on what y'all want to hear, especially with the basketball season starting. Who's your favorite teams? Who's your favorite players? Who y'all want to hear us talk about? Stuff like that. But be sure to follow us on Instagram at Before the Horn Podcast and follow us on TikTok and Twitter at Before the Horn Pod. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell, their grandparents, their grandma, their dads, their uncles, the whole 9 yards. We can't do this without y'all. We really appreciate the support we've been getting.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to contribute for as little as $2 a month, support our Patreon. Our Patreon is out there. We haven't really got nothing added to our Patreon, but that's fine. We know things take time, but $2 a month, it can help to getting more content from us. First basis interactions with us, not just through DMs or through text messages or however y'all been trying to reach out to us. Patreon is the way to go. Also, we are in the process of creating merchandise, so be on the lookout for that. We'll be posting ideas on our Instagrams. We'll get sales and prices out for those soon. But again, for as little as $2 a month, y'all can support us on our Patreon. So the link will be in the bio for that. Also, follow us on our personal Instagrams. They are on the screen as well as in the description box. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to Before the Horn podcast, episode 27. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Keep running these numbers up. We'll see y'all next time.
Yes, sir. Peace.